Greetings, citizens. It has been a while, and for that, your government says,
We have no excuses.
which one is it? We don't care, we're sorry.
Ooh.
I forget. Is it I'm sorry or I don't care? I forget. Anyway, I've
No
got
excuses.
I've got two words for you. Made in America.
America.
That's two words.
Made in a coalition. Suck it.
If you're offended, good. Laugh. Now, it has been a while, and for that I apologize. But
We need to
we're
get
back.
more. We need to get
first
together
things
more
first.
often.
We're just gonna keep this. We're gonna keep the first
We'll keep it
opening.
simple.
We're gonna keep the opening of this very, very brief. MDC News, the open house, which is next year, 2025.
25?
It said that's what they're hoping for. That's what the chat rooms have said. So, Flame Books Open House 2025. They also, if they do not, I have decided that I'm going to use my saved money at the FanX this year, and there will be. I'm just going to say it's going to be a Rift table. I'm going to pay my own money and just set up a Palladium Books table where people can come and ask questions.
I'll join you.
Sure.
I will join you. I will, because I've got saved money too.
So we will.
So we'll just do a big thing in FanX in Salt Lake.
So at the FanX this year, there will be an actual Palladium table, even if we have to set up ourselves. That's right. Your
That's
government
right.
is there for you.
And we'll stay there the entire time. What days of FanX?
It's in September.
Well, it's 3 days long.
And
right?
it is 3 days long.
We will
It's
be
in
there all
September.
3 days
It's
long.
the last weekend of
Why not?
September. I don't know official dates, but it's the last weekend in September.
We're going to
That
go
is what
nuts.
I remember.
Why not?
Yes, we will. And SDC News, I only want to focus on the big reboot for Death Head Taco Truck. That is all I want to say about SDC News.
Ooh. Yes, I'm working on some new ideas because we came to an end, and the system said, "Oh, we're doing an update," and the next thing you know, they locked me out of all of my old episodes, and we're starting over from scratch. And I was like, "Well, this gives us an opportunity to recreate something, to redo it, and do it in a better way."
Mm-hmm.
And we had anywhere from 12 to 15 people who were constantly listening, and we would like to have that more, but we need to figure out how to draw people in. So we're going to change our format and our style, right. And so I'm
there will be
working with people on the idea,
so that is also why. Excuse
Bless
me.
you.
You are seeing you're going to see quite a few changes. We are definitely stepping up our game, which is why at the end of this video you are going to see. Wait for it. Oh, here it is. I'm so sorry, but you don't have to worry about any bothersome ads. But we do have to say, if you like our content, be sure to like and subscribe.
Share.
Those will be options now at the end of this video.
Like, subscribe,
because
share.
now, and what's that platform that you use? It's called what's it called?
Spotify.
Spotify.
I use Spotify for podcasters, and it's a simple app. I just download it. It allows for a lot of editing and all these other fun things, and I don't like listening to myself, so I don't do a lot of editing.
Your coalition government is going to be on Spotify as well. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, and Discord,
and we're also on Discord and YouTube.
Yes. Finally, you know what? I need to do a YouTube video,
which is why I've said
my brother
at the end of
telling
this,
me, move your
like,
stuff to YouTube.
subscribe,
and share.
And we're just gonna leave now.
That's it.
Which brings us to next segment. Like I said, we're changing things up a little bit. The next segment actually is our games. What are you doing? What are you doing, Death Head Taco Truck?
Woohoo! Okay.
What is the government's favorite food subsidy doing?
We're cooking turtle. We're playing
Turtle
Teenage Mutant Ninja
tacos.
Turtles, and we're doing just a classic Truck and Turtles game.
Oh no!
I'm keeping it simple, and it's so wild because instead of I'm almost letting the story be the driver, because what happens is the players have just they're like, we need to go save so and so, and I'm like, wait, no, That's an NPC that I just kind of wrote down on a piece of paper. There's no stats. They're like, we need to save him. I'm like, okay. So the little side quests, it's like a sun flare that comes out and goes right back into the story, which is kind of nice. How about you?
Topic for another day. Never write in an NPC. Let the NPCs that naturally show up that your players are going to gravitate towards anyway, make them the focal point of your adventure.
Let them...
Because there's no sense in arguing with...
Oh, no. The players are just going to go, I like that guy, and pull them in. You're like...
Yeah, they're going to go after him anyway.
Man. Like they have a mechanic and a doctor on the team now. Because they pulled them in. Not because I was like, they're like, oh, we're going to save the mutants. I was like, well, let me just randomly roll to see if the mutants want to leave.
The funnest part of every adventure.
So a lot of mutants left, and they're like, two guys stuck around. I was like, they don't need anybody. They're by themselves, and they're doing pretty good. They're like, we need a doctor. Shoka, shoka, shoka. We need a mechanic. Shoka, shoka, shoka. That's what I did. I those guys, they're not combat oriented. They have zero combat. In other words, they're not going to be in any fights. And if they get shot, we're in trouble. Oh, yes. Especially if the doctors get shot. You know.
Medical officers are important. They really are.
I'll give you a word of advice and instructions on how to pull out the bullet.
Is there a name for this game?
The name for the game?
Did you name it?
No, I didn't. It's just Drunken Turtles. I used the name that the thing has, and I was like, I'm having a great time. I'm just watching these guys just do some crazy fun stuff.
Well, due to a change in my work schedule, my Friday game had to end very, very abruptly. No, but that's okay. The superheroes defeated the North Koreans and destroyed the factory, so the North Koreans can't make elemental monsters anymore. So we actually did end on a pretty good note.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Rifts Australia is almost over. It's got 2-3 sessions left to it. Word to the wise: be careful when you're starting your dungeon crawls. Because when you've got that many people... See, Dungeon Crawls is where it really is about having 3, maybe 4 players at the most. Because the second you get more than that...
You're pushing it.
No, when you have more than that, Dungeon Crawls, suddenly it just slows. It slows. It becomes just that. A dungeon...
It's... Oh,
crawl.
man. That's bad.
Yeah,
that's bad.
So again... topic again for maybe
another day.
Yes, be careful when doing a dungeon crawl, and be sure to nominalize your numbers. Don't maximize them.
Well, I also think that if you also minimize the amount of resources that they have, where they have to actually pull together, that when you do a dungeon crawl, they'll work harder to be in the same room because they're not the end-all, be-all. I'm just going to walk in the hall and whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, these missiles are coming at me. These little darts. Ping! Ping! I don't worry about this. I'll keep walking. No. If they go, okay, there's a bunch of holes in the hallway. Let's all proceed with caution versus I walk by myself because I'm invulnerable.
Yeah.
It's going to change your game.
Well, we do love the guys that do find the traps with their hit points, though. We appreciate those guys. And the only reason I bring this up is, okay, as a big red flag announcement, part of this big dungeon crawl that was down underwater in a deep forsaken cave in the middle of a magical triangle of ley line energy, they fought an actual vampire intelligence, and they the whole big purpose behind this...
Did the thing escape?
No. And that was what made this fight super cool. Because they straddle dimensions. As we all know this about supernatural alien intelligences, they straddle dimensions. I had all of these different mats set out, so that when the intelligence tried to slip off to some other dimension, I actually had to show them where it was going, because we had a time and space wizard for one. the Warp Witch. But we also had two, not one, but two adult dragons in this fight. And a combined total of 20... No, they went in there with a virtual army. 24 people went in against this thing. Only 8 left, but 24 went in against this thing.
Oh!
Yes, it was a vampire intelligence fight. They fought a god.
Yeah.
24 went in, 8 came out.
Gonna come out.
66% casualties. I'm very proud of myself.
That's an
killed.
awesome game.
I am a DM and I killed. Let the record show.
That's right.
Anyway,
that's how it works.
Nevertheless, they did win, and because they had dragons there, because dragons can dimensionally teleport too. So that's just what they did. Every time the intelligence slipped up to some other dimension, the dragons would
follow
him and grab him and drag him back and drag him screaming back. Yes, and drag the horrible parasite back to the... Well, they're adult dragons. They can do that. So
wow, that was awesome. That's awesome there.
So that's the big reason I'm saying that, yes. So the party had 2 adult dragons that would just drag the monster screaming back to reality so the good guys could keep smacking it with rune weapons. Because I know that's everyone's next question. How'd you manage to deal enough damage to get... They had principled, good rune weapons.
You have to.
They had the understanding of this is not a living being. This is nothing sentient. This is evil. This is just an evil parasite, and we are the cure. That was the premise. So
that's right.
We did that, and that is that. Now, topic today. We've got some fun. We got a fun thing. I like the way that you put it. So what are we discussing today?
Okay. Sometimes, all right, as a player or as a GM, there are times when I've got like main book of X, but I've got, a world book from X, a world book from Y, and a source
algebra
book,
terminologies. In other words, insert name of game or book here.
Right, exactly. And you're like, I only have the source book of this. I don't have the main book. Am I going to just leave it on my shelf? No way. I'm going to figure out how to integrate and to mold and it does require a lot of mechanics. You're now creating a whole world. Like let's suppose you had Rifts Canada, Rifts Australia, and main book.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to just put one book on the shelf and just leave it there.
No.
So next thing you know, you've got like Frost Kings that are racing across the frost tundra at full speed.
Now that's...
You know what I mean?
Byzantium then, yeah.
Oh yeah. Take Byzantium. Let's suppose it was Byzantium and
you brought in the Frost
Australia.
King and the Gold-Blooded.
Exactly.
That's where they're from.
Now, if you had those 2 books and you wanted to create something new and exciting, there's opportunity there.
Oh, yes.
And you just gotta dig deep into your creative juices and figure, okay, I've got a world now, and of course it took you probably an hour to figure out where everything sits, what needs to be removed, what needs to stay. Do we have small little patches of civilization in our frost world? Yes. Okay, fantastic. How do they get back and forth? They use their Frost Kings. Okay, fantastic. What's the story now? Okay. Maybe it's about a ring. Maybe it's, Lord of the Rings kind of moment. Or maybe...
how original.
How original, right? Maybe it's something,
No. Let's go more original. It's about a girl.
It's always about a girl. Heck yeah. That's right.
We're original.
Save the princess. Dragon.
Stop, man. Okay, stop. Can't.
No, but what you can do...
No, I would kill.
So
I would kill for that. No, these days, it's save the girl from... No. We saw them try to save the girl. What the hell was that called? Damsel? No. Saving the girl from the dragon? Wow. No. They've ruined that for all of us. So
my heavens.
So I guess that really...
But you know what? Yeah, but sticking to a simple... I don't want to say trope, but I almost want to say trope. But if you define your world, then you can go in taking 2 books that are wildly different, and it's not necessarily about your setting, it's about your story. How does your story match up with all these new things that, like, say, things from Byzantium that are brought in, like frost giants? You're like, okay, but I also have, main Rifts. I only have Rifts main book. So I know I have guns and I have jeeps and I have, all these other things. How do I make that match? How do I make that? How do I bring that up? So, and where's my story? That's the biggest thing I always want to figure out. Is where's my story? Because if you have a great setting and you have all your players gathered around the table and you have zero story, you're like, I'm going to sandbox it. You're full of crap. Don't do that. Have a story.
Sandboxing is getting a lot of credit, and there are good things about sandbox.
There is.
But I don't think sandbox is the way to go if you actually have a solid group who actually want to sit down and they want to stay together and do a campaign. Just don't sandbox. Ask your people around you and say, okay, so what is the story?
Give them a goal, right? Like
now the story will technically flow from the characters that they want to.
That's
create,
right,
because that's usually where these things fall. And depending on the group that you have, where you got married people, you'll have couples people, you'll have mothers, daughters, fathers, sons playing in this game, and typically they will decide in some way, shape, or form that their characters either know each other in some way.
Like
now
that.
Whereas in the current case, at least in the Rift game, in case you were wondering, I know you and Aaron have missed the past couple ones.
Yeah.
The troll and the Ewok kind of hate each other, but that's still a relationship. Anyway.
One of those, I hate you, but I won't kill you.
Well, you've got the.
If I see you on fire, I will consider drinking my water or giving it to you.
The troll's an ascetic hippie that gives all of his money away. Where,
oh yeah, I remember
your
that guy.
evil Yoda Ewok has never done anything free in his life.
I don't do anything for free.
No, he does.
No,
he does not. He's 100% mercenary, which is why we call him the evil Yoda Ewok. So yeah.
Wow, reputation.
But
it's
apart from this being
story.
Yeah. So
it moves the story along.
It does.
It creates maybe some side quests of sorts because you used multiple resources on the thing, but you also let the characters say, okay, I know where the goal is. Mm-hmm. I'm going to get there. And the things that they bump along the way, that's fine. Like we discussed earlier, pulling NPCs into our story and then eventually letting them go is being directed by the players. And that creates a great story. It creates a story that people want to say, you know what, remember that story? That was a great time, man. Laughing still. Like there was one story you did. There's one story that you did that I still remember to this day where my son rolled 3 nat 20s in one episode, and at the same time, when all of them were dead, because I was a blind monk.
Oh yeah,
and I went to go loot the bodies. Oh, no one had told me the bodies were naked.
China game, yeah.
So
it was a succubus,
but it was self-directed.
It was.
It wasn't this. I'm going to tell you how this happens. I'm going to tell you what your character's going to do. Nobody, no GM with their grain and salt is telling the players what they're doing. They let the players almost. They let the goal drive the players to the goal. Mm-hmm. If the GM is pushing them to the goal, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You have not created what the players need. And what I was saying is you take multiple worlds, and when you bring them together, you now have multiple ideas for creating weaves in and out that people say, oh, I read that book, I had no problem, I can do it. You're like, no, have you read both those books? Yeah. And when we put them together, are they now the same idea that you think you can just weave through with no problems? And they go, no. Now it's a complete mystery as to where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. But I now know, but at least if you put a goal out there, then they'll enjoy it and they'll do everything. They'll drive the stupid Kangs in the icy tundra and being chased by guys shooting guns and driving jeeps at them. They'll do all of that because the goal is there. There's new elements of surprise, and so the environment's exciting. The goal is exciting. The bad guys, man, I hope your bad guys are exciting. If your bad guys suck and they just are one-hit wonders, you know, a bunch of stormtroopers in red shirts running after you, you're doing it wrong, right?
Marvel. What?
I'm sorry. What? What was that lad? Oh, you had a cough? I'm sorry.
No,
but
no. I've got a cold. Marvel past 3 years.
Sorry. Contagious.
Oh, alas, alack, how we have pined and longed for a good villain. But
no, but yeah, exactly. If the villain's good, if the goal is good, and if the environment is good, your players may want to drag that campaign to 3 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know Victor, right?
Yeah.
He had his game, and it lasted 7 years. And you know why?
That was a good game. Well, that was a good game.
Villains were great, the environment was great, and the goal was solid.
Mm-hmm.
There was no wishy-washiness like, oh well, I guess I can't give you that, so I'm gonna move it over here.
So apart from this being I guess the big ad push, and we'll have images for this. The Palladium system actually does the best job at this, because when it comes to combining universes and mixing and mashing books, I've got to wait for this. So in this radical idea, where if the door swings both ways, we can reverse the particle flow through the gate.
That's right.
How?
Cross the streams.
Cross the streams.
You have turtles.
You're going to endanger us.
With Robotech.
You're going to endanger our players.
I know.
The nice people who came and played with us in advance before we turned them into dogs.
And we could blow them up, too.
Cover them in marshmallow goo.
That's right. But when it's done,
that's a plug.
Climb down from the building.
That's a plug for my hero game. They actually did that.
They will high-five each other for hours. They will get together in another place, drink their whatevers, and laugh about it for hours because of how amazing the experience was.
Players do love killing a 100-foot marshmallow man.
That's true.
Sorry, not to get off track again. But this actually happened in my Discord game, my Heroes game. Yes, this actually happened. The only problem, though, was that the marshmallow goo was deadly radioactive because it was still full of this ancient cosmic energy. So after they blew up the marshmallow man, they had to call the CDA or whatever, because the place was now a hot. The place was now a hot zone.
You can't leave here. Yeah. You're just gonna. Don't take off your clothes. Don't take off your clothes.
Yeah, we had a player character that had that problem.
Spray you down first.
Heroes Unlimited, man. Play those aliens. Play those aliens up, man.
Oh, no problem. I'll just take off the uniform. No, please don't.
Especially you gotta love those aliens that have no familiarity with Earth whatsoever.
I think that Heroes Unlimited creates that.
That was my favorite one. Looked totally human,
okay,
but had no familiarity with Earth whatsoever. And also, based upon their powers, we decided that they were just an energy being. So that meant that they were a being of pure energy piloting a meat wagon. So,
oh man!
So it never
awesome.
Never once dawned on them why they had to wear clothes, because as far as they were concerned, they were wearing armor
already
all the
wearing
time.
Clothes.
So yeah, so they were like a nudist. They were just wandering around naked all the time.
That's awesome. That's horrible, and that's awesome.
The other thing, and when I ran this game with a bunch of teenagers, right?
Oh,
and so
that makes it so much better.
Now, and
it escalates everything to the
thankfully, it didn't get too ick because the person doing this was a guy.
Okay,
but that didn't change the fact that because I had two girls in this game, and they were just the one girl. She was so hilarious because I guess she has such a vivid imagination. she just sees everything in 3D. So every time this
Right.
guy was just like saying he was walking around naked, she was just always like, ew! And she was always like chasing him around, trying to beat him up because she was trying to put clothes on him.
Dude,
was-
your cheeks are swagging out there.
The team was just having the time of their life with this one girl who hated his character so much she kept walking around trying to dress him. Well, she had like the fabric manipulation power too. Well, that was
that's
the
awesome
other
power.
reason why I ran this game. Okay, I gave everyone like the most lamest, most ridiculous powers.
That's an
awesome
awesome game.
I let them choose an awesome one, but if they chose an awesome one, I told them they had to roll twice on the lame chart. They all did this.
cool.
They all said that in return for being able to choose the one awesome power they got to have, yeah, they had no problem
Like,
rolling like on the lame
Ultra
chart.
physical structure fire plus
Well, it's-
multitasking.
no,
multitasking.
no, she
and bend light. Bend light.
She wanted to be Magneto, so she had magnetism.
Okay,
but then
right.
the other two like lamos that she had was it was like sleep dust and clothing manipulation. So yeah.
Fairy dust.
Well, no, she wanted to create her own clothing line of clothes that were made out of metal. She was trying to make clothes that were just armor. So yeah, that was her whole goal.
But the character was awesome.
and
Probably the story was awesome
Yes.
too.
and we're also right back to using the conversion book.
The conversion book.
Because the one guy decided that he wanted to be an animal, and it was an animal that wasn't in the hero's book. So we
that's a tough
had
one.
to borrow. Well, and then he decides, ooh, can I be a ninja? This, that, and the other. So that's what he chose as his superpower was martial arts master.
Yeah.
So we ended up using. That's kind of why I brought this
Or
story up
natural
too.
fighting ability or
yeah.
whatever.
So
Right.
we ended up going again. We ended up using the conversion book because we needed Heroes Unlimited,
Yeah.
After the Bomb, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We needed all three of them.
Holy moly. But you know what? It makes for a great game.
It did.
That's the whole point. You're going to end up, for those guys who have a library as big as ours, because we have large libraries, okay?
Physical and digital.
Look behind us, right? We have Risk
that's
Management,
nothing.
Cyberworks, Ultimate Edition, Turtles.
I do like the I do love the Cyberworks book though. This is a great book.
Oh my gosh, that was
It's an amazing book.
That was what I got for Christmas. That same year you
Oh,
got
yeah,
yours
yeah,
for
yeah.
Christmas, and I was like, oh, no.
And we're looking forward to our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles books too, the new ones.
Oh yes, they come in September.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
They're coming up.
So excited.
They're coming up.
Oh my gosh. I
Nice.
hope you guys ordered like
I know,
5 of
sorry.
them.
Head fake. This is not the new one. This is the old one.
No, that's the old one. That's fine. I love the old one.
Yeah.
Classic.
We do love the old one. Well, the new one's not going to look that much different. They're using the
No.
same. They're using the same cover.
Same cover. Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
There's just going to be more.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I hope. Did you see the Palladium? Not Palladium Open House, but the there was a cutting room floor book that they made, and they have 10 mutants in there that never got into any of the books.
Oh, cool.
I hope that those guys get right in the book.
Bring them back.
Yes. Okay.
Bring them back. Oh God, I can't sing. No, but yeah, not trying to do
But
that.
anyway. But that's our point, guys.
Yes.
In your next game, and we hope that you're playing games often. Okay, we will hope that you're creating a social environment that's fun to be with. You're hanging out with your friends. That you're eating and drinking and making merry. I guess.
Being Mary. If you're making Mary, I don't think wives and that would be
and
cool,
girlfriends
man.
would appreciate that. But I hope that you're getting together and you're creating great stories.
Created a new slang.
I did. What I say?
We're making Mary. No,
Woo!
I'll edit that and maybe.
Worry about it. We're fine.
Man, if you but I like this. So if you are feeling like your game is running rough, cross the streams.
That's right. That's exactly. I would honestly if you need something if you need something new,
And
something,
Palladium has books for it.
They
not
do.
Only, not only we plug in the conversion book, that's a Rifts book, but it works for any of the others. They also have a World Generator book too.
yeah. If you need
For Alien Worlds
something
and
different.
also other worlds.
if you need to mix it up.
As well as in Rifter, I think it's 42, the one that actually lets you make a company. So yes, you can even make... Palladium has books that will let you make a corporation if you need money
If
rules
you need
or business
Oscorp,
rules. Yeah,
you got an Oscorp.
you do. So yes.
And I would recommend that you create. I mean, if you have, especially if you're leading to a catalyst, you're like saying, "Hey, yeah, the corporation knows everything." You're like, "Oh, let's go check out the corporation." The next thing you know, you have to make the corporation. Not a problem. You have the book. Bring it in. Seriously, doesn't matter if the book is one of the other books from the other game system.
No.
There's one game system. Let's face it, folks.
That's what your government's going to tell you. If you're having a problem with that corporation, just take it back home and check it out. You may find you enjoy it. Hey, Joe.
Anyways. All right. Is there anything else?
Hit the like and subscribe and check out Death Head Taco
right,
Trucks.
guys.
We're on Spotify and
Discord.
And that will be it for today. Like I said, short news show. And also,
sweet.
just the last little note: if you are having trouble finding games, there are plenty of Palladium games on Discord. I know that for sure.
Yep.
Most of them text thread, but if you're old school, you can find us. You can find me on there, and I am a more is the merrier kind of guy. So yeah, come find us, and we will have another one of these for you next month.
All right.
Until then,
we'll see you.
Until then, your government is here for you. What's my name again? I'm Matt.
And I'm Bill Clinton.
Carry on, citizens. Carry on.